Good morning. It's the Call Flow Radio Show, and you're on the air.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday and happy Valentine's Day. Yep, it's come around again. It is the 14th of February here, and we've got an open mic day today. You can give us a call about whatever you might like to talk about. The number, of course, 434-394-0924 is our studio line. And it's just you and me for Valentine's morning, folks. I do have, kind of a musical chair week, actually, kind of going on. We've got, of course, Christine will be in with me tomorrow. It's Wednesday, so remember, she'll have her recipe of the week. On Thursday, we've got a guest for the first part of the show. Buckingham County Board of Supervisors Jordan Miles will be in with us to talk about things that happening in Buckingham, going on with the latest meetings there. On Friday, we're going to twist it up a little bit, and John will be in here with Chris Wood doing Call Flow for you on Friday to kick off your weekend. So that's what you can look forward to later in the week. For right now, as I say today, just you and I, as the song goes. Let's look at our history for today. Well, we won't go too far back. We'll start in 1876. Inventors Alexander Graham Bell and Elijah Gray both applied for patents separately related to the telephone. The U.S. Supreme Court would have to get involved and eventually ruled Bell as the rightful patent holder. 1912, Arizona becomes the 48th state of our union as President Taft signs the proclamation. 1913, labor leader Jimmy Hoffa, born in Brazil, Indiana. To this day, many people say they don't know where he is. I was always told he was the third pillar from the left on the western entrance of Madison Square Garden. Anyway, college football coach Woody Hayes, also born on this day the same year, 1913, in Clifton, Ohio, and famous sports broadcaster Mel Allen in Birmingham, Alabama. In 1924, the Computing Tabulating Recording Company of New York, formerly renamed to what it is now known, the International Business Machine Corporation, or IBM. 1929, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre took place in Chicago garage. 7 rivals of Al Capone's gang gunned down, most shot in the back. 1945, British and Canadian forces reached the Rhine River in Germany. Of course, that during World War II. In 1967, Aretha Franklin would record her cover of Otis Redding's Respect. That would be at the Atlantic Records studio in New York. The rest, as they say, is history. 1984, 6-year-old Stormy Jones becomes the world's first heart-liver transplant recipient. The surgery performed at Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh. And it was just 10 years ago, double amputee Olympic sprinter Oscar Pistorius shot and killed his girlfriend Reva Stenkamp at his home in Pretoria, South Africa. He was later convicted of murder and is currently serving a 13-year prison term. So let's look at our birthdays from the celebrity folks for today. Former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg is 81 today. Journalist Carl Bernstein turns 79. TV personality Pat O'Brien, 75. Magician Teller, of course, one half of Penn and Teller, is 75 as well. Cajun singer and musician Michael Dusay from Beausoleil, 72 today. Actor Ken Wall turns 66. Brilliant opera singer Renee Fleming is 64. Actress Meg Tilly turns 63. Who else do we have here? Actor Zach Galligan is 59. Actor Simon Pegg, 53 today. Rock singer Rob Thomas turns 51. Former quarterback Drew Bledsoe, also 51 today. Actor Matt Barr is 39. Actor Jake Lacey, 37. Actress Tiffany Thornton is 37 as well. And actor Freddie Highmore, 31 today. He's really, really good. If you listen to him, he's got a very pronounced British accent, but he really can pull off great language. Of course, he was the young Norman Bates in the series of Bates Motel, and of course now stars in The Good Doctor, and really does a brilliant job for someone of his age, an excellent actor. Well, of course, it is Valentine's Day today, but it's other days besides Valentine's Day. No surprise that today should also be National Organ Donor Day, a different way that you can give your heart. National Organ Donor Day. It is National Cream-Filled Chocolates Day, which also really, I guess, tying into Valentine's, shouldn't be a surprise. What else? National Ferris Wheel Day. Did you know that? National Ferris Wheel Day. And surprise. Well, I wasn't expecting you
I know.
to.
I wasn't expecting me either.
All makes it all the more exciting.
Yeah.
That's my Valentine's present for the day.
I had some time. Francis was up in the hospital for tests.
Okay.
The first set of tests were over with when I went into the hospital to check on him.
Right.
He was gone. He didn't go back until 9.
Okay.
So I thought, well,
You're
what the
already
heck?
here. What the heck?
What the heck?
See, now I've gotten my Valentine.
Oh, bless your heart.
National Ferris Wheel Day. You like Ferris wheels? You like riding Ferris wheels? I know you're so-so with
yeah.
heights and spaces and stuff.
Yeah. Ferris wheels are okay unless I'm get stuck at the top.
Oh, some of them stop on purpose.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, of course, the day honors the birth of George Washington Gale Ferris Jr., the man who invented the Ferris wheel. Preparations, of course, for the 1893 World's Expo in Columbia, in earnest, 1891. Of course, director of the fair laid out a challenge to create a centerpiece to rival the Eiffel Tower
Right.
from the previous World's Fair. Well, of course, that's where ideas were tossed around, and it was George Ferris inspired. He contemplated several ideas, but it was one evening in a Chicago chop house when he got the idea to fit the challenge. Sketched it out on napkins and then developed his plans. Presented with the concept, Burnett firstly balked at it, doubting that it would safely carry anybody to such heights. But Ferris persisted. He spent, now this is 1893.
It's a lot of money, $25,000.
25 grand of his own money
Right.
to pay for his studies, then got $600,000 from investors, hired engineers to build the 250-foot diameter wheel that was hoisted between 240-foot twin towers. The success at 26 stories, a whopping $726,805.50. Now, that's, again, 1893, so hefty fair.
Profit there.
Yeah, well, did real well. Of course, there are a lot of famous Ferris wheels now, the London Eye, and there's a match of it in China, in Tijuana, the Tijuana Eye. So, yeah. Did you know there's one, the Sky Wheel up near Niagara Falls?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's on the Canadian side, but, yeah, you get some amazingly beautiful views is what they claim. I have not been on it.
Oh,
But,
okay. Well, I prefer not to. The little ones are fine. The little state fair ones are the little.
The London Eye is amazing. When I was there, and I mean the carriages. You're not in like a little seat with just two people.
Right.
These are
Yeah.
twice the size of your typical, Skyline
Right.
ride. They're that big.
Yeah,
And
that heavy.
Yeah, it's like 6 or 8 people can get in these things. It's
Yeah.
huge. So anyway, there are things you can celebrate today. I don't know where you would go. I guess, Kings Dominion got a Ferris wheel? It's probably the closest place, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe.
I
Yeah.
don't know. jump up and spin around and
Jump up,
pretend you're on a
around.
Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, there's what you have to celebrate today. If you want to celebrate something today beyond Valentine's.
Oh, it's Love Day. Yes.
Yep. It's a love fest. You got your red on, I see.
I do.
So you're
Yeah.
all celebratory.
all
I didn't even,
set.
well, I guess it's kind of a red. It's maroon, but I wouldn't
Well,
think
it
of
has red in it.
There
Let's
you
put
go.
it that way.
I wasn't thinking about that. Well, I mean, surprising, or not surprising, I guess I should say, talk already going on about who will be the next James Bond. I mean, it's years away, but there's already all this talk, and so many people, even in the past, had talked about Idris Elba. He says he is sticking with Tormented Detective John Luther, which he does a brilliant job with, and not Bond. He spoke yesterday at World Government Summit in Dubai. Of course, brought up the persistent discussions of him taking over as Ian Fleming's famed British spy, those growing louder after Craig finishing the 25th film.
Do you think he'll come back?
Craig?
Uh-huh. I mean, as Bond, you think maybe something came along after that explosion or before the explosion, seconds before, and lifted him up.
Oh, no, I think the whole thing, well, I think it was kind of a twofold. If you look at all of the Craig movies, they all interlink. That's the whole thing beginning to end. And I think the idea, and I don't know, because the producers have never come out and said, but I look at it as the idea of, okay, we go from his first mission to his last. In essence, you're getting this glimpse over God knows how long of a period.
Yeah.
But there are tons of stories and missions in between. So I think that was kind of the idea. Craig's period just kind of bookended the film character of Bond, and I think that's that's how I read it anyway. Elba did say he's got an upcoming film based on the British series. If you've never seen Luther, they showed him here on Masterpiece Theater a couple seasons, and it really is a great, very dark and gritty, more modern detective series, but it's really good. Elba said it's a very dark film. He's been working on the show for about 10 years, so the natural ambition was to take it to the big screen, and they will have the first movie. He said a lot of people talk about another character beginning with J and ending with B. He said, but I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to be John Luther. That's who I am. So kudos to him. I think it's a better role for him anyway. Luther, the Fallen Son is due to come out in American theaters February 24th. I didn't know it was coming that soon.
Ooh.
It'll be streaming on Netflix starting March 10th. Co-stars Andy Serkis, who plays great villains, as well as other actors from the TV series. That'll be good. Elba, who's 50, known for a variety of TV and film roles ranging from Stringer Bell on The Wire, of course, the recent movie Beast, and he was in the Thor movies. While on stage, Elba discussed the upcoming film that he's working on with John Cena, called Heads of State. Of course, former wrestler become actor. He says he plays the American president, and Elba plays the British prime minister. That's interesting. They get into a caper, is what Elba said. He said exciting about doing it because leadership comes in different forms. He's up there speaking because he's part of the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. He and his wife are receiving an award with their work for food security in Africa. He's also an anti-crime ambassador. His initiative is called Don't Stab Your Future. He grew up in East London, where it was a rough neighborhood. And so he's all about trying to get these kids who don't have a lot of, support, family support and stuff, to where they'll be better off. So good for him. And maybe that'll finally, people will stop. I don't know. I mean, I have my own theories about the new Bond and what they need to do, but, it's not my company. They've been doing it long enough. They grew up around it, so I would think that, that they know what they're doing.
Well, I have a question out there for our folks. Do you believe in UFOs as far as aliens are concerned?
You talking about with the balloons?
The balloons. But there was one picture that they posted of the Lake Huron, or maybe it was at the Yukon, up in the Yukon.
One up in Alaska that came in?
Yeah, Alaska. That it looked like a spaceship, but, that could have been just,
None of them have had the same design. They've all been different. Of the four, they've all been different.
But,
yeah,
I believe we're not the only ones out there.
I agree with Stephen Hawking's premise. It's more than likely. I mean, as a matter of fact, if you look at the odds, inevitably, somewhere in the universe, there is other life, depending on how you define it.
Yeah, that's true.
I doubt that they have visited us, and I hope they never do.
Well, yeah, I hope they never do as well. But, there's some things that have gone on this planet, that, mankind...
Well, nature has
really
proven it can do things that we can't explain anyway.
Yeah, that's true as well. So. But, you look at the pyramids, you look at some of these places that they found underground. And,
right.
And,
don't tell me you think aliens helped build the pyramids.
What?
You don't believe aliens helped build the pyramids?
No, but I believe they could have brought down some information on how to do it.
Okay. Morning, you're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Chris.
Hey.
I'm calling up about two items.
Yeah.
That's not getting much publicity.
Mm-hmm.
The killing of the whales. There's now 138 of them that died on the East Coast alone.
Yeah.
And they figure that's due to testing the ocean floor with sonic waves to see where to put the windmills.
Oh, my.
And because the sonic waves could bounce in and out, and it affects the navigation of the whales.
Because they do use a form of sonar, yeah.
Yeah, because originally it said it was like 8 on the East Coast. Now it's up to 138.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. And the other item was with the CDC telling the kids now to get their younger kids vaccinated. And I'm totally against that because there's no way, it's not a vaccine, it's a shot. And with all of the heart problems the kids are coming up with, I think they should be after the CDC because most of the people working for the CDC are ex-Pfizer employees. The same with the FDA. So they're in the pocket of the Pfizer. I think people better start listening to other radio stations and find out what's going on.
Well, you talk about the kids today and a lot of the conditions and health issues and stuff, and I really think a lot of that comes from the injections of hormones and things like this that keep going into the food. And then you ingest that food. Well, that stuff can't be going away. It's got to be doing something to that meat. And I just, we've gotten so far away from healthy, natural foods. I mean, and I'm not saying not to eat meat, but even the meat we get now has, so much stuff.
Stuff in it, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
And I think that causes a lot of the health problems that we are seeing more and more in younger and younger people. I think that definitely plays a part.
With that too.
Yeah.
And the way they give the people the shots, one on top of another or together.
Yeah.
I don't think they're doubly checking it out on what the separation time should be on the shots.
Yeah, and because there's a difference in them too. I mean, I am a believer in, vaccinations. I was vaccinated as a kid, and I think those things are possible. We haven't eradicated certain diseases, but when you're talking about being young of a certain age, particularly dealing with the COVID-19 stuff, there's still so much testing and things like this. I can see how that becomes something to be questionable.
Over time.
Yeah, I go along with that because there was too much. There wasn't enough testing on it. They're actually doing the testing now on just a lot of people. And they're still learning. It still is coming up with new strains and things like this. So there's still it's too new to really know about it like we do some older viruses and things. Yeah, because any of the other viruses, if they had that many people die from it, the vaccine, they would have taken it off the market immediately until they finished testing it to find out what the problem was.
Unless the FCC gets money off of it.
Well,
I mean, how many times do we hear a side effect may include death?
Right.
Yet the medication's still out there.
It is. So you see you get that on television.
Yeah.
You know, after they read the side effects on the medicine thing and maybe could cause death, you don't want to take that medicine.
No, you want to stay sick.
I had that one employee from Pfizer on under a hidden camera. I don't know if you caught that one on TV. And he was saying, "Oh yeah," he goes, "No problem. If I just do what the Pfizer tells me to do, and if I get fired from the federal government, they give me a job."
Yeah. Well,
you know, and they wanted to cover that one up immediately. That was on for one. It might have been on one program on a local channel.
Yeah.
It was boom. It was gone.
Yeah. Wish you could say it was only in the drug industry, but
it's in everything.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna have to look up about the whales though, because I hadn't heard that had gotten that high, that the numbers were.
Yeah, that was on the radio, television last night.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one up.
They marked all the spots where they were beached on the East Coast.
Okay.
I figured I'd mention it.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll have to do some research on the windmills before they keep on doing the testing. Which I doubt the government would do that because that's their pet peeve, pet project.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay. You got it. Bye.
Take care. Yeah, I'll have to look up. I hadn't heard about the whales, so that'd be interesting. But now, what we were talking before about the pyramids. See, I firmly believe that archaeological evidence has shown that we actually knew more, or well, maybe not more, but a whole different sense of knowledge than we know now, and it's been forgotten over time. I mean, you look at the construction. Well, perfect example is they still aren't 100% sure on the Roman method of concrete. We've gotten closer to figuring it out, but they still don't know. The Roman concrete that was made then is better than the concrete we use now. And we don't know that formula. And I think the pyramids are kind of the same kind of thing. They had ways of doing mathematics that either, for whatever reason, computers or how knowledge has been passed or changed, that we just don't know now. That's part of the reason that it's very different, or we're using whole different materials. We've forgotten maybe how to work with stone. Look at the cathedrals and know all that stuff was done by hand and how precise. You can't get sheet of paper inside some of those things.
I agree with that, but I still think that they had a little bit of help.
Okay. I don't think aliens have ever come here, but
okay. All right.
Somebody out there, I'm sure there are people out there who agree with you. But there have been lots of books on it, that's for sure. Lots of people believe, whether it's the Egyptian pyramids or Mayan, Incan, whatever, that they had help from outside.
You can't really dispute, all of these sightings, that we've had. No. You can't really explain a lot of them.
That's true. The problem is that it's to the point of there isn't evidence one way or the other. Not enough, to say one way or the other.
We'll see.
Yeah, maybe one day. Well, like I said, there are people now who are saying maybe some of these things came from a lot further away than China. Mysterious objects in the sky, of course, does not help. According to Jim Ludes, former national defense analyst who is now leading the Pell Center for International Relations at Regina University, said there will be an investigation. We will know more. Until then, he says the story of UFOs has created a playground for people interested in speculation or stirring the pot for whatever their own reasons may be. He said it feeds into the narrative of government secrecy, which, of course, it does. Perfectly natural. You can find whatever conspiracy you want to find in anything if you look hard enough.
Well, yeah. Of course you can, if you look hard enough.
Yeah. But there's been a lot of stuff on social media, and all these kind of claims, Twitter and Facebook, But, one of the conspiracy theories being thrown around is that none of this is from China, that it's all done by our own government to divert attention from a chemical spill that happened in Ohio.
Oh, really?
Well, it was a train derailment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're saying, oh, that's the only reason this all came about. Actually, has nothing to do with that. There are misleading claims going on. Analysts, of course, at Site Intelligence Group, which tracks extreme rhetoric and stuff. So you got all the weird stuff. Photos people posting now of a whole bunch more of UFOs. And it's even started trending on Google.
Yeah.
So,
well,
Elon Musk actually made a joke about it. He tweeted Sunday, "Don't worry, it's just friends of mine stopping by."
Okay.
So there, who knows? But yeah, there it is. There are other stations too. I mentioned yesterday about the Chinese laser and the Philippine Coast Guard. Did you hear about all that business going on? Mm-mm. So that a laser was used against a Philippine Coast Guard ship from a Chinese Coast Guard ship, blinding some of the guys on board, all in that disputed South China Sea. Well, the U.S. has renewed the warning to China that it will defend. We have a treaty ally with the Filipinos. Mm-hmm. And so that statement came out after all that.
That's what's scary.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on in the South China Sea. Yeah. And so that was the shot taken of the laser there from the Philippine ship. Good news, at least, out of Turkey and Syria.
Yes.
More than 200 hours after the devastation of the earthquake, there are people being found alive.
Oh, that's wonderful.
There are people being found alive.
That is wonderful.
And a child was actually born in the rubble.
Yes, I
heard about that. The woman gave
yeah.
birth,
yeah,
and both of them seem to be okay. Of course, the hardest part is they're still going through civil war over there. 12 years now. So it really is tough, but thankfully there are still people being found alive as the death toll's now, over 33,000 people. I mean, it's crazy. And of course the other, Nikki Haley, former South Carolina governor, came out and announced her candidacy for presidency. She is the first major challenger after former President Trump for the Republican nomination.
All right.
So she's announced that she is running. There's been speculation about that. Now it's true. Morning, you're on the air.
Hi, Chris. I just want to say that, I don't know that what Chris is saying is true, but, I've seen several things in the field below my house that's close to, it's coming towards Chris and Francis' place, and it's round and got lights on it, and it's not an airplane.
It's not Francis' drone,
I haven't seen it recently, but unless it's a drone, but I haven't seen it recently, but I have seen it, and it's got lights on it, and I've looked at it with the binocular.
That's very strange because maybe about, 15 years ago or something, we had this light. We were in bed. Mm-hmm. We had this light come on, and it was you couldn't tell. It was
like green and red, I believe. It's been a long time ago.
Well, this was a white light, but it surrounded the house, and it stayed there for about 30 seconds, and then poof, it went away. And there was no sound or anything. It was really, really weird.
I didn't hear. I raised the window and stuck my head, and I was trying to see it far as I could, but it plunked in a minute, then it would go, and after a while I couldn't see it at all. But it was no airplane because it was too small, Mm-hmm. And the way it was rounded, it wouldn't have been an airplane.
Yeah.
So, and I said to myself, this is weird, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, too, but happy Valentine's Day to y'all. But I just want to let you know there's a possibility.
Some of them, yeah, right. Some of those people out there that have had experiences,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, honey.
Okay, take care. All right.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Well, of course, where we are, too, we're in that fly path, that the military uses. Mm-hmm. And so who knows what the military's got.
Yeah. Well,
it's beyond planes and choppers. I'm sure of that. There's no surprise that they would do testing in the middle of the countryside of Virginia. And who knows?
Who knows?
But, yeah, you can hear them coming from miles away, especially when some of those big choppers come through, the double-bladed jobs. Wow. I mean, the house shakes.
It's amazing. You got to stop.
It is pretty wild. Oh, Lord, we do. We are flying. Got a little piece of business, and we'll be back. Take a break with some weather. I was going to say news. Weather. And, of course, your birthday and anniversary calendar. We got a lot of them for Valentine's.
Southside Electric Cooperative is your member-owned electric cooperative since 1937. SEC is headquartered in Crewe and serves 56,000 homes and businesses in 18 counties across Central and Southside Virginia. We have 4 district offices that are located in Alta Vista, Crewe, Dinwiddie, and Powhatan for our members' convenience. In addition to providing safe and reliable electric service, we are committed to the communities we serve. We offer a variety of programs and services for our members, as well as Cooperative Living Magazine and educational scholarships. Visit us online at www.sec.coop. SEC is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
All right, it is time. It's 8:39. We're going to take a quick break here. Weather up first. Sunny today. Looking for highs in the mid-60s. Then tonight, increasingly cloudy. Lows in the mid-40s. Tomorrow, a sunny day with highs in the low 70s. Southwest winds 6 to 15. Gusts as high as 24 possible. Then for Wednesday evening, mostly cloudy. Look for lows in the low 50s. Southwest winds still hanging around 8 to 11. Thursday, 30% chance of rain throughout the day. That just mainly in the morning. Mostly cloudy with highs in the mid-70s. Still breezy. South winds 8 to 17. Gusts as high as 29 miles an hour. And Thursday night, rain will hang around, 80% chance. All that going on even into Friday. Look for lows in the mid-50s. Right now, humidity at 81%. Barometer continues to increase slightly, 30.10 inches at the moment. No wind to speak of. Blue skies and sunshine, and a big jump in the temperature. 38 degrees now. That is here outside of the WFLO studios. And, of course, time now for your birthday and anniversary calendar. And we got a lot of them for this 14th.
Yes. Of course, this is Valentine's Day, but we have a belated anniversary to tell you about. On the 13th, Pastor James E. and Karen Hurt of Rice. It was their 23rd anniversary yesterday. All right. As far as birthdays go, we've got Wayne Davenport of Dilwyn celebrating a big day today. Also, Joyce Cunningham is celebrating a birthday on this Valentine's Day. We have Kate Green, Jack Houghton, Kylie Watson, Parker A. Reeves, Shauna McGraw. Also celebrating Sabrina King, Linda Johnson. Ashley Tanner's celebrating a birthday today as well. We're going to get some anniversaries.
All right.
Oh, no.
You got no sponsor today. So
okay.
Go for it.
All right. Sandy and Mark Bolick and Doug and Susan Worsham celebrating birthdays today. Anniversaries today, excuse me. We also have Wayne and Tempe Davenport. So Wayne has a birthday and an anniversary.
They do that so they don't forget.
They don't forget. That's right. So we send out our best wishes. Congratulations to all of you fine folks celebrating on this special Valentine's Day. We wish you a great one.
Yes, we do. Happy birthday, anniversary, and a happy Valentine's to all of you, whether we know it or not. Remember, you want to get those names to us? Email them to birthdays@wflo.net or mail them to WFLO 217 West 3rd Street. That's Suite 2 here in Farmville, 23901. We'll get it on and let everybody know who's celebrating.
It's SUITE, not
That's right.
WEE.
That's right. Different suite.
Not even for today.
Not even for today.
No. I want to wish my wonderful husband, Francis, a happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
All
right, let's see. We had somebody call while you did them, so maybe it's an add to it or something else. Morning, you're on the air.
Good morning. I'm Christine. I want to call. I know I'm late, but I'm sorry. And wish my brother in Buckingham a happy birthday. His name is Rodney Brown.
And that's for today?
Yes, and I want to say happy Valentine's Day to you all.
Well, thank you very much. The same to you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, so there we go. Another birthday for this
Rodney
Valentine's
Williams,
Day.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
So we wish him a great day, too. I assume you watched the bowl.
Yes, we did.
The bowl. Enjoy the game?
Yes.
Good. I mean, heard very good things about it.
It was a very good game.
Yeah, just a few
right down
points.
to the last seconds.
Well, Sunday's Bowl, the ratings are now in. It was the third most watched show in history, amazingly. An estimated 113 million people watched the Chiefs rally to defeat the Eagles. Fox said Monday the preliminary numbers include broadcasts on Fox and the Fox Spanish channel, as well as streaming on Fox and the NFL digital stream sites. The figures are all done Nielsen's Fast National Data and Adobe Analytics. Final Nielsen data will be available sometime today. Rihanna's halftime show averaged 118.7 million, so more than the game in total. More people tuned in, watched the halftime show, and then tuned out, making it the second most watched halftime in Super Bowl history, behind Katy Perry's performance in 2015.
Well, she's going to have another baby.
Yeah, they revealed that at the end, that she was did the whole thing pregnant.
Well, she was showing her baby bump.
Oh, yeah, I was reading about the dress costume, I guess you'd say, for lack of a better...
yeah, it was awful.
Oh, the real tight costume?
It was
I don't know,
awful.
that's an in thing now, of wearing these really tight clothes and showing off your pregnancy.
Right. We never did that when I was pregnant.
No, I don't ever remember seeing any pictures.
Clothes.
Yeah.
Really weird.
I don't know. It does sometimes look a little strange, especially with like skin tight clothes.
Yeah.
You know, I always wonder, but I guess it's the thing now. I don't know.
I suppose.
Well, the Oscar nominee luncheon was Monday.
Okay.
And of course, the slap from last time was front and center.
Of course.
So much
Has
so.
it been almost a year? My God.
It has been almost a year. Motion Picture Academy President Janet Yang neither had to describe it or even mention any names in the ballroom full of hopefuls. They knew exactly what she was talking about. She told crowds that included Angela Bassett, Tom Cruise, Steven Spielberg, Cate Blanchett, and others. I'm sure you all remember we experienced an unprecedented event at the Oscars. What happened on stage was unacceptable, and the response from our organization was inadequate. They said they didn't do enough. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences did little in response to Smith slapping Rock at last year's telecast or in the immediate aftermath. It was nearly 2 weeks before the Board of Governors voted to ban Smith from the Oscars and any Academy event for the next 10 years. Of course, he had preemptively resigned as a member of the Academy, knowing that he would be reprimanded. Yang said that we learned from this the Academy must be transparent and accountable in our actions. Particularly in times of crisis, you must act swiftly, compassionately, and decisively for ourselves and our industry. You should and can expect no less from us going forward. Now, she was not president at the time that happened. She's become president since. She was met with a whooping applause, told nominees in all categories that March 12th on ABC will be the telecast. Of course, the controversy of the slap eclipsed everything about the Oscars last year. So the luncheon was a warm, feel-good affair filled with a bunch of A-listers. So should be good. Cruise is nominated as a producer for the new Top Gun. And he and Jamie Lee Curtis, Best Supporting Actress, or Everything Everywhere All at Once. So we will see what happens. But, for a while there, I have to say, when it first happened, because I didn't watch the Oscars. I saw it the next morning. I honestly thought it was a publicity stunt and all part of Rock's style of humor. I really didn't believe it, because if you watch it, he makes the joke, Will laughs.
Right.
He sits there and laughs.
Yes.
She gets a little smirky kind of smile, and then all of a sudden her face shows that she's really angry. He looks at her, sees she's angry, and then this delayed reaction of acting, quite honestly, like an ass and walking on stage and physically attacking someone. It's just, I really thought this is
overly dramatic.
It was. And it was like, oh, this is all just part of the show. There was all this talk, and I thought, now that's what it's all about.
Well,
the Oscars have been losing ratings. His movies haven't been doing well. This is publicity.
And it backfired.
And it backfired big time. Yeah. But, I don't know. The way it's all talking about now, that it supposedly was this not scripted thing. But I still have to think, if she would be mad at anybody, she shouldn't be mad at Rock for making the joke. She should have been mad at her husband for laughing at the joke.
That's right. Yeah. That would have made more sense.
If there was anything, a slap that should have happened should have been her slapping him,
that's right.
not him getting up and instantly, deciding that the answer was violence.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't solve anything, as we see. In any case. I mean, you may disagree with my thing, and maybe you think, no, you're right, she should have turned around and slapped him across the face. But whatever. It happened.
It did.
Amazingly, it's been almost a year, and we'll just have to see what happens going forward with this year's Oscars. So, so be it. Well, New York Fashion, of course, we had Paris.
Right.
New York Fashion Week started up and going on. Caroline Herrera, the brand synonymous with elegance and class as far as this year's the winter debut, pushing boundaries of high drama, romance, and grandeur, but also showing restraint when necessary. The Grand Plaza Hotel Ballroom in New York Monday had the debut collection inspired by themes of elegance and opulence. Show opened with a nod to Burt Bacharach, who we just lost. Say a Little Prayer.
Oh, that was sad.
Yeah. Along with a slew of romantic songs. They were also tying into the whole Valentine's thing. The opening dress, a strapless satin black and white mini dress.
Ooh.
Yeah, a regal yet elevated look. The aesthetic even had a yellow tulle dress with a tiered skirt that went down the runway, a tiered black and white tulle dress, and other tools. So that's
sounds like
coming back, at least in the fashion industry. Anyway, some of the most gas-worthy looks inspired by Empress Elizabeth of Austria, who, of course, that film Corsage that had come out about her. One model.
A chunky pearl necklace with a button-down black silk full-length dress featuring gold embroidery.
Square neck Cinderella dress in lilac satin. With peaks of black.
And matching lilac pumps.
Interesting. Certainly something you would wear to an Empress's ball.
Oh,
for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Not on a typical day to the office by no means. But yeah, there's a New York Fashion Week going on this week. Kelsey Ballerini was there, Rachel Zoe, Julianne Hough, the kind of celebrities you expect to see at these kind of things. Bright colors were also on show, putting the joy back into the world of fashion.
And the Red Cross, through its Heart for Hope program, the brand just recently pledged that it would match all donations given to the Red Cross.
Yeah, and that all will help with Turkey and Syria.
Earthquake there.
So that's wonderful. So if you've got the money to go out there and buy one of those dresses, you're doing doubly good. Yeah,
they do pretty good with the knockoffs, though. That are less expensive and or more affordable for those who like to.
Well, and I think that's kind of thing about the fashion weeks and stuff too. I don't see the lilac. Oh, that's it back there. Yeah. I think it's like, okay, this is going. They're just kind of setting the style. I mean, those haute couture things are one-offs and handmade and stuff like that. I don't think they are it's more to set the
more to
style.
set the pace,
Yeah.
more to set the style,
Yeah.
and
that this is where fashion's trending.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the little black and white one. Oh, that more tulle.
That's pretty.
Okay, that must be, I guess, the chunky one. Mm-hmm. That looks like, I think that's a picture of Diana. That's Princess Diana, it looks like. It's hard to tell because half the face is cut off.
Yeah, it looks like her anyway.
Yeah, it could just be a model. Oh, that's probably the one in black.
Anyway,
some pretty looking stuff there. Not
Very
that anybody around here will be buying any of it.
Well,
but
you never know.
Well, that's true. Maybe you win the lottery, and
right.
next thing you know, you're out there. Chris is flying in her private jet.
Right.
To New York and Paris Fashion Week and coming home with these one-off designer haute couture.
I'll
see you strolling down Main Street in your lilac and black tulle.
And I'm wearing stilt heels about 5 inches.
That's a vision.
Break my neck and my ankle.
Well, so would I. That's okay.
So would you.
Sure. If I tried to walk in heels, I'm sure I'd break my neck, too. Mm-hmm. We got a little bit of business we got to do. We'll be right back. We got about 6 minutes if you want to give us a call.
Hello, I'm Stuart Wilborn, manager of the Bank of Charlotte County Loan Office in downtown Farmville. With over 30 years of banking experience, I'm here to help you finance your commercial, agricultural, or personal project. Give us a call at 391-1136 or stop by our downtown office at 216 North Main Street, where you'll find old-school personal assistance with attention to detail. The Bank of Charlotte County, giving you more for your banking needs. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
All right. Well, Chris has got to make her way, but she'll be back with me tomorrow. Don't forget, it's Wednesday tomorrow, just in case you forgot what day of the week it was. And, of course, Recipe of the Week. Have that with us tomorrow, so looking forward to that. Don't know what she's going to tease us with, but we'll find out. You'll know when I know, folks. In any case, like I said, we got a few minutes left on the program. If you do want to give me a call, got something you want to say or discuss or add into the things we've talked about, whatever the case, so be it. Some other interesting news that came out about famous Chilean poet Pablo Neruda, who was a Nobel Prize winner and a brilliant poet. Forensic experts have determined that he died of poisoning 50 years ago. Yeah. This announcement came out late Monday. The revelation by Rodolfo Reyes, who was Neruda's nephew, is the latest turn in one of the great debates of the post-coup that happened in Chile. Now, the long-stated official position was always that Neruda had died of complications from prostate cancer. However, the poet's driver argued for decades that Neruda had been poisoned. Now, there was no confirmation of Reyes' comments from forensic experts, but experts from Canada, Denmark, and Chile have all been involved and are set to publicly release their report tomorrow into the exact cause of Neruda's death. His body had been exhumed. There was all these tests going on. The public release of the group's finding has been delayed twice this year. First, because there were some internet issues with one of the experts, and they couldn't get a consensus on the panel. Now, international forensic experts several years ago rejected the official cause of death, which was called weakness, wasting of his body because of this chronic cancer. At the time, they said they hadn't actually determined that was the cause of death. It was just what was publicly put out there. In an interview with the Associated Press, Reyes said forensic tests carried out in both Danish and Canadian labs indicated the presence of a great quantity of poison Clostridium botulinum, incompatible with human life, a powerful toxin that causes paralysis of the nervous system and death. It's where botulism comes from. Reyes first revealed the information to a Spanish news agency on Monday. Now, as a lawyer in the judicial case over his uncle's death, he has access to those forensic reports that are being done, and the first group that were done back in 2017 that first indicated there was a toxin within the late poet's bones. Lab tests concluded the toxin was administered while alive and did not enter the body after death. A report set to be released almost 50 years after the poet's death and Communist Party member when a 12-year judicial investigation about the poisoning was started because of his driver. That was Manuel Araya, who told the Associated Press that he's confident the findings will support what he has always asserted, and that the poet died after being given an injection in his stomach at a clinic where he was hospitalized. So Neruda was 69 at the time, dealing with prostate cancer. It was in the chaos that followed the September 11, 1973 coup going on in Chile that overthrew President Salvador Allende and put General Pinochet in power. Neruda's body first exhumed in 2013, and different tests have been going on since that time. Now, the big question is, even if they can prove that he was poisoned, how do you know who did it? You know, how do you prove any of that? I don't know where it's going to ultimately go, I guess, other than the fact that they'll be able to prove it wasn't natural causes from the cancer that killed him. Beyond that, I don't know really where the benefit of it lies. In any case, as I said, Christine back with me tomorrow. It was a nice surprise to have her with us for a while today. She will have her recipe of the week on Thursday. Buckingham Board of Supervisor Jordan Miles be in with us to talk about what's been happening at the latest Buckingham County board meetings and such. And then, of course, on Friday, Christine will be back with John Staten. Speaking of John, he's coming up in just a minute. Keep it here on The Flow.